Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope you all are having a good day. And how's it going for you after church today? I did stay so I could be able to attend church at my church home. And I'm about to get ready to head back up the road. I'm waiting for my laundry lady to come, and she's supposed to be here in the next. Oh, wow. It looked like she only has like 28 minutes to have my laundry back. So, well, no, not really. They said until 8. So hopefully she'll have my laundry back so I'm not leaving so late at 8 o'clock at night and having to drive in the dark and stuff like that. But anyway, the strangest thing happened last night. I did an entire video for you guys for 25 minutes, and I discussed the current state of our country and politics, and discussing the Republican National Convention, President Biden currently having COVID. What I really think they were doing was uh, he was back at the White House and they were having conversations, from top tier um, party leaders for the Democratic Party, and deciding who will ultimately assume the presidential nomination, and that he will be announcing he's dropping out of the race. Now, I had that conversation last night and I did a recording. So then I also discussed the passing of Representative Sheila Jackson Lee out of Texas, and how much she's contributed to the Black community and Blacks in politics over the span of her career, and how inspirational her life has been and legacy as a Black woman in politics. Now, I get out of church and I find out that President Biden has, in fact, done what I said he was going to do last night: drop out of the race. Drop out of the race, right? So now we have a situation where he has stated in a public, uh, uh, statement that he would like for Vice President Kamala Harris to run on the ticket as a presidential nominee. This is the problem. This is the problem with her possibly being the presidential candidate. It's not her race primarily. No, don't even play that game with me, honey. You know I don't play like that shit. The problem is that he did Kamala what President Obama had to do with him. In order for Kamala to have been taken seriously, for us to understand her at an executive level, we needed to see her working, right? And Biden's administration didn't give her that leeway and that freedom. Their dynamic should have been very much the Clinton Gore dynamic. And what I mean by that, it is during the Clinton Gore administration, one would be on the West Coast, the other one on the East Coast. One would be overseas, other one, somewhere stateside, and you're getting coverage of both of those people at the same time. So they had this established, coordinated, cohesive presentation to the public. This is why we took the nomination for Al Gore to be president seriously, because we were familiar with him. We were familiar with his body of work, things he's accomplished, things he was working on, ideas that he had. We understood his expertise. He operated in that capacity while he was vice president of the United States. The problem is that within the Obama administration, they had no choice. Wait a minute, I skipped over somebody. During that Bush administration, this is what happened. You see, Bush, vice president, he was never a front face forward facing leader, right? He has always been and will always be a behind the scenes leader at an executive level. He was someone that operated in stealth mode, but he did run everything. He was highly intelligent. He had a great background behind him, and he was fit and capable for that role. And in event something did happen with President Bush, he would have been a suitable replacement, right? This is the problem. President Obama had, like I said in the video last night, President Obama had to do certain things with Vice President Biden, because early on, less than 6 months into their administration, he started saying very inappropriate things. Um, you know, Vice President Biden, he was, I mean, it was a lot of insubordination and saying things in the public that shouldn't be known beyond at an executive level. And so President Obama made the executive decision that he had to silence him. And the way he did that was let him do the White House tours, let him do the photo ops and all of that stuff, and keep him out of the way of regular business and regular shop. You get what I'm saying? It was necessary. It was necessary. And so, for whatever reason, President Biden decided to do the same thing with Kamala Harris. That wasn't warranted. That wasn't necessary with her, because she wasn't doing the same stuff he was doing. Therefore, because we didn't get an opportunity to really see what she's about, how she's working, what she's doing, we really don't know what we're getting behind. I mean, I don't mean no harm. We would be supporting her off the strength of two things. She's a Black woman. That's it. That's all. Now, the reason why in that video last night I mentioned Nancy Pelosi is because of the following. We know her work. We know her. We know who she is. We know how she fights. We know what she's knowledgeable of, and we know how she gets down. And we know for a fact that joker will fight tooth and nail all the way down to the ground. She get down and she get ugly and she get dirty. All right, she don't care. But that's because she is established at an executive level. She has been Speaker of the House. You get what I'm saying? And after the Vice President, that's the next in line to be president. Did you know that? If something happens to the president, and then the vice president is supposed to assume office. But if something happens to both of them, the Speaker of the House becomes, guess what? They become the President of the United States. And so it goes in that order. What I'm saying to you is she's well aware of things, because she has always had to stay ready just in case when she was Speaker of the House, right? So we have to understand that at this time, and not only that, Nancy would be a good pick because she ain't had no problem putting foot to neck when it came to Trump. She ain't had no problem with it. He ain't want no smoke with her no more. He got sick of it. She made him real nervous. She applied pressure, and that kind of pressure made him fall on its own sword. He started moving stupid. He started making mistakes. XYZ 1, 2, 3. Sound like a good pick to me, right? Hold on 1 second. I think my laundry lady here. Hold on. Okay, I'm back, guys. I thought it was my laundry. It was something else. But anyway. And so the reason why they're also presenting Kamala is because the party understands if they don't automatically throw the nomination to Kamala, everybody gonna start crying racism and all of this other stuff and saying, "Oh no, that's how it's supposed to go. You the vice president." That's a lie. Look around you at all the past few elections. Just because you're VP doesn't necessarily mean you are going to run for president. That's old guard. That's not how it's going right now. When was the last time you seen someone a sitting president drop out of a presidential election he was guaranteed to win? I mean, run. You get what I'm saying? So we're in a time that we're trying to remedy a lot of breakdown and bad decision making from the party, because the party has become, a lot of them, almost as cat piss crazy as the right. And it's scary. Like I said last night, they're saying the same stuff and don't seem to notice they're saying the same things to one another. And for whatever reason, it doesn't register for them. It does not. It does not. Another problem we have, well, they did understand that Kamala was a bit of against the grain for them. And what I mean by that is, you have to understand in this country that misogyny, patriarchy are still dysfunctional components, part of American society. And they've weaponized it. And I have been warning people for, I know, at least the past 2 years. You need to pay attention to what they're saying on social media. It's to Black men and what they're saying about Black women. That wasn't just about the girl next door, the lady across the street, they sister, their cousins, women they dating. They were being paid. Let me tell you this, they were being paid to make sure that American Black men perceive women in leadership in a negative light. Okay. And that was because they understood she was a threat, and she was a possibly going to eventually at some time run for president of the United States. Well, now we're here. Okay. And as much as they may have voted, when they did vote, Black women vote overwhelmingly way more than Black men, unfortunately. And because of that, they'll be about to break down the ballots now to vote for Trump. So if you haven't noticed, a lot of Black men have been groomed, kind of steered towards the right. And the thing is, it's going to be devastating. It's going to be very heartbreaking when they realize how the machine used them, because at the end of the day, it's 100% about getting they behind at the voting ballot and vote for Trump. They don't care what they have to tell you. A lot of these podcasters have been paid a lot of money to socially program and condition our men for their main objective. It was about winning elections. And unfortunately, these are not conversations we can have, safely within our community with our men and women. And let's really organize and understand and look at the bigger pictures and the strategies that are being used to get votes out of people. Just like President Biden came up and said, "Oh, I'm gonna make a cap on rent." He said that because he knows that's a message that resonates with Black voters, especially Black single income households. He knew that. He knew that. So that connects with them, right? And so they do the same thing on the right, And so the thing is, they try to get into this dysfunctional, dynamic of, male leadership and things, and it's not the way really they even run their households, to be honest with you. No, it's not. It's so interesting. It is not uncommon to hear one of them say, "Well, let me go talk to the missus. She run everything. And let me talk to the missus and see if she'll give me some allowance." Or, let me talk to the boss first. That's not uncommon, dynamics within those families. However, they did have to do the work, and the work was necessary in order to get more votes, because their votes alone are not enough. They knew that. So they need what? The Black vote. How can they get the Black vote? Black men. That's it. Black men. And so hopefully, other men will start kind of, having these conversations with them and shedding some light on this for them, as we have less than 200 days before the presidential election. We have a lot of work to do. We have a very short period of time to get it done. So any impact made has to be true, profound impact. It cannot be what we've done before, what we've said before. We have to move not just quickly, but rationally and effectively. That is what's necessary. It's necessary at this time. We have to have conversations from a place of truth, not from a place of fear mongering, and not from the place of blame shifting or finger pointing. We have to have a conversation from the position of what do we need to accomplish within the next 4 years. And number two, what are we trying to rectify that we didn't address in the last election because we were so focused on what was going on for valid reasons with COVID, that possibly we didn't make the best decision that was going to span the full 8 years that we had planned and projected, right? So we misstepped on a lot of things. And so now we have a chance to remedy those things. And how are we going to do it? What are the main markers now for those who are part of the Democratic Party? What are the things that are really important to them at this time? And I hope their priorities at this time, right? And I think we have to get to the point as well within the Democratic Party that you understand that you have a rising demographic of African Americans who are now middle class and upper middle class. And it is based solely off of digital content, it's based solely off of entrepreneurship. We have a new demographic that are becoming the dominant in the Democratic Party. So going with the approach of just subsidy, 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 subsidy isn't as effective as it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. So you're going to have to come to them with things that speak and resonate to them, because as they hear your ideas, they also hearing increasing my taxes. That's what they're hearing. Before it was like, oh, they don't want to help nobody. They don't want to look out for nobody. But now they're hearing it from the ears of they're paying taxes now. Okay. They know what it's like to get their behind tore out of the frame from the tax man. You get what I'm saying? They understand what it's like to be paying the IRS and having to pay your taxes in quarters because you have made so much money. And so you get pissed off after a while. I'm going to just go ahead and say this, because most people don't want to say it. It pisses you off. I'm gonna tell you why it pisses you off. It's because people keep asking for, they need to give us this, they need to give us that, they need to give us this, they don't want to help nobody, they don't want. Let me tell you something, that stuff costs money. That stuff costs money. You can't turn around and say, well, my ancestors were slaves. Let me tell you something, somebody working for it right now, they working for it right now, honey. That's money that they don't get to take home. That's money they don't get to save. That's money they don't get to invest. They get to put it back into this country to benefit people's lives. And I'm telling you, if they keep taking that approach of money, taxes, money, giving tax and giving tax and giving taxing, they are going to lose an entire generation of voters. They will lose because everyone are money savvy now. We don't have money to give away. You see that? Even if you have it, the thing is, people get a little attitude like, oh, you don't want to help nobody. You act like you better than people. You supposed to help. Let me tell you something. When you getting bust down like the IRS bust your behind down about your own money just for living here, working here, and making money from here, I don't want to hear you telling me nothing about I'm selfish when I'm being forced to be charitable by our government. We're forced to do it. We don't get to choose if we're going to do it. We're forced to do it. If they want to give it to people to feed their families, if they want to give it to them for utilities, if they want to give it to them to build, if they want to use it to build more prisons, whatever they decide to do with that money, I don't get to decide that. All I get to decide is not to get in trouble and go to jail for not paying them. There is a penalty if you don't pay them taxes. What I'm getting to is, if they don't shift gears to a modern perspective, that you have a rising demographic of people who are entrepreneurs, business owners, and they making six figures, right? They don't want to hear nothing about you trying to give some more stuff to people, because they know they're behind going to end up paying the price tag. They know with that comes higher taxes, because now they understand money, the economy, and how politics translates to taxpayers paying the bill. They understand that now, and they ain't trying to hear it. So we have to approach this election from a real place of understanding every demographic within this party, and quit thinking black means poor. Let me say that again. Quit thinking black means poor and treating us like we're on the only black vote they seem to care about is the poor black vote, right? Our own party don't even pay no attention to what's going on with everybody else who are black and still voting and supporting them. They do not take their needs into consideration. And that's how you're finding this leak that's leading back to the conservatives and back to the Republican Party, because you're not inclusive of all demographics. You kind of browbeat us with, we got to all come together. We got to all help. Let me tell you something. You need to help everyone in your party and understand their needs, not just the poor black needs, right? Not just the women who want to, choose to be pro-life or pro-choice or whatever. You have other people, you have not addressed their needs. We're going to have to do that if we plan to sustain this party. Now, if they don't want to have them kind of conversations, then you just lost the election. I'm serious. If you don't want to approach it from that perspective, you just lost. And just own that. Because I'm telling you, it's not going to work the way it did 4 years ago of coming together. We black, we gotta all be unified. We gotta that I'm not trying to be funny on that, but that's not gonna work, shoot. Nah, emotionalism is not enough this time. It's not. So she has an opportunity, and I don't know what she gonna say, but like I said, if it was her and Nancy, hey, we got an unstoppable, unbeatable, unimaginable team. Because I'm telling you, Nancy is more fit for the work. Because I don't know what Kamala good at. I'm just be honest with you. I don't know enough and see enough of her working for me to feel like this is going to be a good fit. This is going to be a good choice. I feel like I would be making that decision based on superficial reasons. Whereas I know how Nancy works. I know her history. I know her background. I can pull up legislation all day, every day. Spans decades of what she does and how she is and how she handles things, how she handles stress. And I appreciate the fact that she loud and proud put her foot on Trump's neck without even thinking about it or blinking. She gets dead up in his box, right? She don't care. She don't care. Whereas with Kamala, she just seemed a little too chill and chipper, and she don't understand this is serious right now. This is a serious matter, dear. Literally this time, okay, honey? This is a serious matter. Tell me y'all thoughts and views. And I think it's scary and weird. That darn video I did last night, it did not upload, even though I downloaded it to my computer. I came back, opened my laptop today, and the thing just spinning around, spinning around, spinning around, spinning around, spinning around. Didn't even upload. Didn't even upload to the darn. Hold on one second. What is this? Okay. I didn't even upload to my YouTube. It just says draft. Even though I published, it's just saying draft. So hopefully this one will upload for you guys. I can't wait to read your comments. I miss talking with you guys. It's been a lot going on, and I'll fill you in on that eventually. But I got my laundry now, so I need to finish packing and go ahead and get on the road because I don't want to be traveling at night. At least let me be close to there by the time it really start getting dark. And then that way, if I need to stop one more time for gas or something like that, I don't have to be so far away and it's dark. At least I'll be closer, when I got to fill up the tank again. So let me run, y'all. Let me run. I can't wait to read y'all comments, honey, honey, honey. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.